Well, hi. Today is Monday, September 29th, 2025. I'm Todd Studer, and this is Morning Coffee. Well, being September 29th, that means that a week from tomorrow is the primary election in Council Bluffs, where we're going to narrow down the field of candidates for city council and also for mayor. And today, we are going to bring you another candidate highlight, an interview with a gentleman who is running for city council in Council Bluffs. His name is Ryan Garrison. He is a captain and a paramedic with the Council Bluffs Fire Department. Also is on the faculty staff at Iowa Western Community College. And he will tell us more about why it is that he's running and some of the issues that he feels are the most important facing residents of Council Bluffs right now. So Ryan Garrison, our guest today on Morning Coffee. If you have a leak, a clogged drain, or planning a big remodel, Waldstein Plumbing in Council Bluffs has you covered with fast, reliable service and expert craftsmanship, handling everything from small repairs to major installations. And if you have not had your furnace checked yet, you know the cold weather's coming. Yeah, we've had warmer weather, but still, it's on the way. And there's no better time than to get your furnace checked now. So get a hold of AirServe Heating and Air Conditioning in Council Bluffs. AirServeCouncilBluffs.com, WaldsteinPlumbing.com. There's the websites. If you need precision metal fabrication done right, Foxco Fabrication in Council Bluffs. From custom welding to large-scale manufacturing, bringing your ideas to life with expert craftsmanship and cutting-edge technology. They put a pause on some of the custom orders, but they're going to be taking those custom orders again on the 1st of November. So just be patient. A little bit of health issues, but it's all taken care of now, and we're glad everybody's feeling better. So again, foxcofab.com is their website. And when you're navigating the healthcare system, it can be challenging, frustrating, and time-consuming for you and your family. That's where My Nurse Healthcare in Council Bluffs steps in with nurse advocates providing one-on-one guidance and support every step of the way. With a dedicated nurse by your side, you will get the right care from the right provider at the right time. Visit mynursehealthcare.com and let them take the stress out of healthcare. Back with another candidate interview. This time it is Ryan Garrison, a candidate for city council in Council Bluffs. He is a fire captain and paramedic, also director of EMS at Iowa Western. Good to see you, sir. Thank you so much for jumping on and being a part of this today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, let's begin with your background with Council Bluffs. Tell us how far back that goes.
I started with Council Bluffs Fire Department in May of 2018. Just turned 23 years old. I went to EMT school here at Iowa Western. I also was part of the inaugural soccer teams out here at Iowa Western. Huge connection to the community here. So I've been on since 2018, and as I finished my paramedic, as I got on the job, I've been an employee with Iowa Western since 2015. And through the fire department, I was promoted, and I'm in the position of captain now, where I lead my own crew, get firsthand knowledge with what's going on in the city. I see it every day. And then Iowa Western, I've worked my way up there also. And in August of last year, I became the director of EMS, and now I run that.
Before we jump in too deeply into your candidacy, I'm sure you have to be excited with the success that you've seen at Iowa Western. And I know men's soccer is one of them, but it's just up and down. I mean, you're seeing a lot of very, very competitive teams come out of that institution.
I love it. And being out here, the environment's great. I'm actually here right now. I was just getting off work for the day. Actually, some guys I played with were the first coaches of the boys and girls soccer teams that won the first national titles. I played with them here. I'm a football lover at heart. That's my deep love. So even that, I love watching that football team. It's exciting times out here.
It's fun to watch.
It is.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch, and I hope spot on about that. And I think that interest is growing, but I would love to see, such as with the football team or the soccer team or the basketball teams or whatever the sport might be, that we get a lot more people in the community in those stands. I think that would be that's a real benefit, because when you support your secondary institution, it just grows everything else, and it invites more people into the area. Again, these are my opinions, but that's what I think.
No, works. You're absolutely right. It galvanizes people. It brings them together. They have a focal thing that they're like, all right, we're all about this and we support it, and it brings them together, and it's something we can all cheer on together.
Let's talk about your decision to run for city council. How long did you spend mulling this over? Because it's not an easy thing to do.
It's not. And for me, I've thought about it myself for several years, being firsthand seeing what goes on in the city. And that's from the street level through the government level. I think that's perspective I get in my positions, being here. I get to see it from the bottom to the top. So I thought about it for a while. And then the last 3 cycles, I'd have people independently reach out to me. Hey, this would be a good thing for you. And I'd always tell them it's something I had thought about. My kids were a little younger. Year and a half ago, my daughter got married. There was just life happening, So it'd been on the down the line a little bit for a while. And now, as things have calmed down on those other ends of life, I think it's time. And I love seeing the number of candidates this year, because I think there's also a part of it. We've seen so much of the same things over years. People want change. And I think that's a good environment to go into. People are ready to listen. They're ready for new ideas. So I really thought right now was a good time.
You mentioned a word there, Ryan, that to me seems to be kind of a theme for this election cycle, and that's listen. Because I see a lot of candidates talking about listening to the residents and listening to different areas of town and truly getting what is it that is affecting you. And it seems to be, as I said, a very common theme through everything that's going on this year.
It is. It's something that's needed. Some things we've been stuck in old ways. Myself, I am a lifelong Council Bluffs resident. I love this place. And I've always said Council Bluffs has the most potential that anybody could ask for. We just got to find ways to reach it. I live on the west side of town. I was born and raised there. I still live there. My kids went to school. One graduated already, and 2 more are still at school at Thomas Jefferson. I see all the great things on that side of town, and I see it as a whole. And I feel like Council Bluffs should be a place where every place is desirable. Every place has a good reputation. Some things that have, and this is talking to residents and living some of it myself and through work, some of these things we deal with, we didn't ask for them. There's a lot of good, hardworking people trying to do the right thing, take care of what they need to, and they need to be listened to. I'm here as a candidate for the people. I'm not here to serve myself. I think these people need a voice, and I want to be that voice for people.
For you, what are some of the bigger issues that Council Bluffs is facing right now?
We need growth. We've been stagnant for several decades now. We've started on the way down that road for growth, but we still need it. You need tax base for city projects and to get things done. With that being said, we have a huge homeless issue here in town. We've tried to treat it the same way for the last 25 years approximately. We need a different way to go about it. We need new ideas. And when I talk to residents in those areas, that's their biggest frustration. Talking to businesses in those areas, we have people that have invested life savings for some of these businesses and huge amounts of money trying to bring positive to these areas of town, and they have to continue with this battle that they feel like they have no say-so over fixing. We have to represent our taxpayers and what they want, people who are trying hard, and that's another issue. And that in turn affects these big projects that some leaders want in the city now. We have to deal with underlying problems to get the most out of these big projects. And community buy-in for projects, we need to listen to them and make choices. Some of them are difficult. I'll be the first one to admit, but we got to make tough choices. That's what people like myself are trying to be put in positions for. We're willing to make tough choices. It affects business. It affects our residents. It affects our schools. If we don't listen to residents and people who are voting for us, you're gonna have people disgruntled. You're gonna have that. So housing, growth, the homeless issue, which in turn all affects how good our schools are, the people that are going to our schools, the people that are moving into town, perception outside of the city of Council Bluffs, because any resident lives here, no matter where you live, you understand the perception of Council Bluffs outside of here. It's different, and it's because of some of these issues. And we really got to make hard, fast decisions and make progress as quickly as possible to fix these issues and grow and be the best us we can be.
You talked about housing, and yes, that's kind of the canary in the coal mine. I think that our vacancy rate is so low, under 2%, which is essentially just zero. There's really no place for people to be able to move into. And we do have some new apartment complexes coming in, but we are we're woefully lacking on housing and new housing starts and different places to be able to put people in, because if we want to grow, people need to have a place to live. And what do you see anything out there on the horizon or things that you would like to see that can address that problem?
I think we're on a good start. The West Broadway corridor with the apartments going in down there, it's a good start. If annexation, it can't be ruled out. We have to look at it. Is that a possibility? Can we grow? Because obviously we have vacant land. That's the cheaper route to go. And we have to take advantage of that. But, whether it's federal funding on some housing, annexation, we have to look at those different options to try and grow. And we have to be open-minded. We can't be so focused on, hey, this is my agenda or my friend's agenda. We have to be open-minded on it. And then I really think we can come to solutions. People are seeing the benefits of Council Bluffs. It's a small, big city, it's not Omaha, but it's got a city feel to it, but it's not too big. But yet we're still so close to everything, and I know it's a big conversation about bringing more stuff here for entertainment, which helps attract people here. But I think we're on the right road. There's still some work to do. And if I get in this position, I'm able to see more of what are options. Land city owns, what are our other options as far as property and where to go with it.
Is there a population number that would be an indicator that we're moving in the right direction? I mean, we've been stuck around the 62 to 64,000, as you said, for decades. So where would be an ideal place for that number to get to?
Well, what you look at, you'd like to get in that 5 to 10% growth every year or two. We need to make some of those goals. You look at areas at Ames, I believe I was looking at, where they've come from 2002 to now is something like 45,000 residents. They've just exploded in some of these areas of town. And those are cities we can look at and go, what'd you do? What are some ideas you implemented to grow? And to say any of us are going to know everything, I think's wrong. We have to be willing to think outside the box, talk to cities who have been through it, and really garner some ideas that are going to help us and put our own personal stuff aside and be about the residents and what best benefits them.
Part of it too, I think, is just the proximity of where we're at. I mean, because we're kind of limited as to what direction that we can go. So we have unique challenges here that a lot of places don't. So all of that being factored in, it's tough, but it's also, I'm a big believer that regardless of what the problem is, there is a solution. It's just a matter of, are we willing to do that to get that solution? But what specifically that is, I can't say. I don't know.
Yeah. I think a big thing for us too, and I'm a big proponent of this, we have to reinvest in older areas. If you reinvest in older areas, that attracts maybe the newer, younger resident. It makes the city more attractive. It brings them here. As much as a rental properties are a huge part of any city, and you need them, but you want a large portion of owner occupied homes. That keeps your neighborhoods up to date. They're well cared for. We need to find that balance also. We need to grow, but we can't forget about older areas of town and opportunities. Take advantage of some places like they did along the South Expressway there. They took those old commercial buildings, they made them apartments. Fantastic. We keep
Yeah, you're
ideas
talking
open.
about Harvester Lofts. Yeah.
Harvester Loft, yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Absolutely phenomenal. Great stuff. We can't forget about the old area towns because we still want the city desirable. So we need to make sure we're budgeting and working that into our progress, as well as trying to grow, whether it's apartments, new housing, whatever that may be.
Yeah, you bring up a good point too, and I love to see the old buildings being renovated. I know the park building that's going on right now.
Yes.
And because you go back to the middle of the last century, we lost so much because
We did.
back then, I don't know that there was enough focus on maintaining the history, and urban renewal was a big thing back then.
Yeah.
And a lot of our history just gone forever. So maintaining what we still have, because if you think about what used to be in Council Bluffs, wow, it was, if all of that was still here, this would be a history mecca of what you could see. But we have to protect what we still have.
Absolutely. My father's talked about that. And I'm a big history buff as it is. I've looked at these books. I'm like, you look at Playland Park, what it used to be to what it is now. You're like, wow, it's amazing. But you're right. There's been a lot of history tore down, and a lot of it's parking lots now. And you're like, man, we just let that crumble, which is sad to see. So we do have to have a focus on that.
So, as you are continuing now with this campaign, how are you reaching people? What has been your go-to, or some of the top ways that you've been able to talk to people as you've been learning more about what's going on in the community?
So obviously I have a connection through my work that I've made a lot of relationships throughout the years. Got to know a lot of business, a lot of residents who we see. We listen to them. We give them resources, how to handle things. Social media. I've went out there. I'm using my own page right now at this point. And then just getting out to talk to people. I've heard some leaders of cities and businesses or whatnot. I'm emailing them. I'm sending text messages if I can get them. I'm making phone calls. Some of it's old school. So I just did a fundraiser for Wilson Middle School this last spring. I walked up and down Broadway trying to garner money for our weight room remodel. And it was just getting in front of people, I'm using some of those old school ways, and it's been amazing the last several weeks, the people reaching out to me to help. So I think you're going to start seeing more meet and greets and stuff like that. That'll all be coming. I'm involved with the Chambers event they're having. And that's kind of how I've been going right now, and have conversations where I have, and get out and walk the communities. And I was just down with a resident next to Bonson Park the other day, sat there and talked for 45 minutes to him and some neighbors about what they're seeing as issues, what they want done from city council leaders. They're talking about the change they want. They're dealing with things that they're tired, and they feel like they don't have a voice from them. And these conversations can go on for hours. And that's where I'm going through different parts of the city, east and west. I'm out getting ready to go put out signs now, and I'm making connections all over the city, and it's been good. And a lot of it's old school. I think people want to see faces and not just someone posted on social media all the time, and where they can't put a voice or a face to a name and feel like they can really connect with people.
Well, I can say this for you, Ryan, and I've said this to every candidate that I've interviewed, and you are no different, that we're grateful that you have elected for yourself to stand up and say, I'm putting my hat into the ring. That in itself is to be congratulated for and to be admired, because it's not an easy thing. And especially
No,
now,
it's not.
because in the world that we live in, it can get kind of ugly out there. And you said, no, some things are worth it. And so you're going in, and kudos to you, sir, for doing
Thank you.
that. It speaks to your character.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, again, grateful that you took some time this morning to jump on the program with us, share a little bit. I know that we have a primary coming up, and also some candidate forums that are coming up where people can get an opportunity to meet you. Hope to be able to see you at those. And I'm looking forward to just how all of this unfolds. And again, grateful for your time today.
I'm excited. I appreciate you having me on and taking the time to listen.
It is encouraging to see the number of candidates that we have running for both city council and for mayor. That means people are wanting to get involved, and that's a good thing for Council Bluffs. So, as I have been saying for a long time, let's just keep it civil out there. We don't have to call each other names online. You can express your views without ripping into somebody else. So just my little 2 cents for whatever it's worth. If you're feeling stuck in uncertainty, conflict, or miscommunication, boy, that was an unintended segue, but it's accurate. Carol Horner is a local author right here in Council Bluffs, and she wrote a book called Spiral of Accountability. It can help you break free from the fog that can cloud decision-making and relationships. You can learn how to recognize negative cycles, shift your mindset, and build a culture of clarity and collaboration at work, at home, and in life. Moral of that story, it teaches us how to communicate with each other better. And this is a perfect time to get a hold of Carol's book. So go to her website, spiralofaccountability.com, or you can also find it on Amazon. If you're looking for a laid-back spot with great food and even better company, it's the Milo Way in Council Bluffs. A reminder, it's Monday. That means they are closed on Mondays. Everybody needs a day off, and that is the day off that the folks at the Milo Way take. But, this family-run bar and grill is your go-to for mouth-watering wings, unbeatable weekly specials, and a welcoming atmosphere that feels like home. So if you're going to catch the game or maybe just unwind after a long day, the Mile Away has you covered. Here's the address, 2270 Old Lincoln Highway. Just go north on Old Lincoln Highway out of Council Bluffs, and you'll see it there on the left side. If you're coming down from Crescent, of course, it's going to be on the right side. But it is the perfect place to relax and enjoy good times. Follow them on Facebook, and you can see all the latest events and specials. And since 1870, Avila Bank has been providing Iowans with high-quality financial products and services to fit their needs. Whether you need a loan, would like to start a new business account, saving money for a trip, or just looking to open a personal checking account, Avila's qualified bankers can help you with all of that and more. Visit avila.bank to learn more. Again, primary election is coming up October 7th, a week from tomorrow. Make plans to head to the polls if you have not voted early. And let's just have a very civil election. It's been pretty good so far. And again, thank you to all of the candidates who have elected to throw your hat into the ring. We appreciate your willingness to serve our community. That's going to wrap things up for today. Oh, by the way, a programming note that coming up tomorrow and Wednesday is the Heartland Developers Conference, the AIM Institute putting it on. It's in Council Bluffs this year at the Mid-America Center. And we're going to be live from there over the next couple of days. So we're actually going to be combining the Morning Coffee Show and the Local Roots Show to be able to bring these to you live. And so that is coming up tomorrow and Wednesday, live from the Mid-America Center. My name's Todd Studer. Have a great Monday.